Welcome back to Judventures, the channel hoping to bring you the best couples and families, days out, events and locations in the UK. Tonight we're back here at the Spirit of Welbeing Lounge in Keighley, where there's a paranormal evening where we're hoping to see any evidence that the paranormal does exist. We've got a couple of paranormal investigators with us. They've got all the equipment available, so let's see what there is. What better night to do this than on the night of the Tauride's meteor shower, where there is a wide held belief that this meteor showers represent the transference of physical into spiritual energy. So we're going to go across there, we're going to go inside and we're going to see just what there is, and you're going to come with me. So one last question, who are you going to call? So we're now just about to be split up into two separate groups. One group's going to go upstairs and one's going to stay down here. We're going to be locked into the building and we're going to be completely separate. We'll meet up at half time to discuss what's going on. So let's see what happens. We've got a wide array of paranormal investigative equipment here. Let's see what happens. Are you excited to meet some spirits and ghouls? Right.
I do. Have fun, everyone.
Now, well and truly locked in.
So is there any spirits in here tonight? Can you use Chris to answer some questions? Can you move him backwards and forwards for yes and no, please, if you can hear my voice? So can you move him in a direction which shows that the answer is yes? Just give him a little push. If the answer is yes.
Yes, to me. Yeah.
Now can you move her in the direction if the answer is no?
Yeah, she's gone back to she's gone back. So forward for yes, back for no.
Are you a male spirit?
Yeah.
You're an adult? Are you here all the time? Right. So you're not here permanently? You don't know.
I'm coming down.
Do you actually know that you're dead? Got some bad news for you. Passed on.
God, let's cry.
Yeah, you alright?
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. Don't you taking that emotion? You're alright, you're okay.
Sorry for telling you the bad news.
I'm really sorry.
Oh God, that's really weird.
You're alright.
Stop it.
But that's the emotion of
That's
very
very
good.
good.
Yeah.
And you don't know. Sometimes you're answering the questions before they finish asking them,
Yeah.
and you don't know where the answers are coming from. It's a bit like being half asleep. You just relaxed and it's just moving about.
Yeah. So what we're just talking about there, guys, is we've just tried a technique which I believe Andy called the pendulum.
Human pendulum.
The human pendulum. We had someone standing in the middle of two other people, completely relaxing themselves, leaving themselves free to whatever spirit wanted to contact us. They were asked a series of yes and no questions or answers that could be given simply with yes or no, and the human swings back and forth to show what the answer is. Now, during this, obviously, we asked the questions. We got a couple of different answers, but the main spirit we appeared to contact was a young 18-year-old male named John. Johnny. Johnny was aware that he was dead. He died in the 1700s, the mid 17.
Was it 1751?
1751. It was believed with the series of questions that we asked that he died of smallpox here with a number of friends. Now, I'm not aware of the history of this building. I don't know whether anyone else is, but we'll wait till the end of the session, the day, to find out just what the history is. But could it have been that this location was some form of hospital all the way back then that dealt with people with smallpox? Both Johnny, who we contacted, and his friends all appeared to die here. So we're actually using one of the pieces of equipment here, guys, is an EMF meter. It registers electrical activity, and you'll be able to see as the camera gets closer it goes off a little, but it needs to be within sort of centimetres if not millimetres of the actual device to be able to register some form of electrical current. There is a wide held belief that the leftover spirits do contain a lot of energy. It's a leftover energy of people who have passed, so it is quite a good device for picking up whether there's anything here. So we'll be keeping an eye on that tonight and seeing if it goes off. Which it did when I weren't filming, which sounds like I'm doing that just for likes, but we assure you it did. Just to mention as well, sorry I forget everyone's names, who was in the middle?
Sarah.
So Sarah was in the middle of the human pendulum, and at one point you felt, I believe, quite an overwhelming array of emotions. The first spirit that we contacted didn't know that they'd actually passed, and when that information was passed on, Sarah actually broke down in tears. Now, as a skeptic, it's strange to see that, because you can't generally just cry on command. You can't fake that kind of emotion, so she obviously did feel whatever she felt, and it's very intriguing to see. So we can take from that what we want, but it was, as a skeptic myself, it was very, I can't think of what the word is, but it was strange to see that kind of emotion.
It's been moved now.
That's always a strange colour.
It is a strange colour, that's why
Is that cupboard door open?
Yeah, I think she opened it all, didn't she? There's something on the ceiling if you want to walk over it.
That was me.
Can you get that?
Can you see?
Like a
It's like-
face. Like, we think it's like a
Can you see it?
child.
Your
shadow
right,
again.
Yeah.
The shadow of it there.
Let's have a
There,
look.
where my-
We'll
the red
zoom
light
in.
is.
You see it?
Yeah.
What's the Ouija board?
Yeah.
Well, that, guys, is one thing that we won't be doing here on the channel, because even though I'm a skeptic, I've seen enough movies to know that you don't mess with these things, and so I will be sitting not too far of a distance, because if anything's going to come out, it's going to touch me all the way over here. But I'll be sitting close.
It's not like that at all. Don't worry about it.
Are you doing it, Sam?
How sensitive are these balls?
Quite. Well,
Has it bobbled around?
It's wobbled a tiny bit. Right, guys, so
If somebody could
I will be
hold
filming
the
this, but I am going to step back to not be involved. But I'm sure just filming it doesn't tell the spirits that I am
You're not-
actively involved in this.
You're going to hold the light for us so you're not going anywhere.
I'm going to be the cameraman and the lighting man.
going. It's about
Not
to,
got, no, nothing.
I've got my phone on me. Do you want me to take my phone out?
No, it's not close enough.
Okay.
It's moving. It's going. But there's nothing around. There's no power in these sockets that don't work.
No, they don't work, these ones.
We're going up to like 2 and 3. It gets to get to 5 before
Make
it
sure I know
triggers.
where everyone is. If anyone touches behind you, jump
Someone
into the
coughs
laugh.
behind you.
Keep that left.
1, 2, 3.
Our fingers are really lightly on this as well. We don't move it.
If there's any spirits here that would like to talk to us, can you move the planchette to spell the letters of your answers? And if you can hear my voice, can you move to yes, please?
Is it sticky? It was sticky last time, wasn't it, underneath it?
But just before again.
What's that? I can't see the
There's
letter.
nothing. There's nothing there.
No,
So nothing.
What is that?
Ah. Is that I?
Aye, that shouldn't be going off, should it?
Oh, we need a piece of paper. So I want to record.
Rich. C.
It's Sam,
Rich.
nip upstairs, please.
Rich.
Richard. Are you Richard?
Just, I'm on the table
Yes.
on the right hand side, there's some A4 paper and a pen.
Thank you, Richard.
I don't Richard.
Richard.
So if I talk during this, I'm not going to spoil
No,
anything.
it's fine.
No,
That's
no,
absolutely
just ask
fine.
questions.
Just to ask questions.
Yeah,
Just
you-
ask questions.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, and this is coming from a sceptical point of view. So as I say, apologies. I don't want to take anything away from anyone that does believe. Shut up.
W. Is that no? W.
No,
Sorry.
M.
Right, yeah. L.
A.
No.
T.
T.
Mallet. Can you write?
Can I write?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
Richard.
dark. Richard Mallet.
Yeah. So just obviously because the skeptics, and I keep calling myself a skeptic, but I am firmly in the middle.
Yeah.
But I know the skeptics out there would ask. So if this thing moves on its own to spell out the letters and pass a message from beyond, why do people's hands need to be on there?
I personally feel that we're pushing it, but you don't know what the answers.
Right.
It's the
I
spirit's
think
using our energy.
it uses our energy to be able to move.
So
Because if you take your fingers off, it just won't move.
So if you were all blindfolded, should it still not work the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can close our eyes and it
But
do it.
obviously you don't normally record in it, so you wouldn't be
Yeah,
able to...
you wouldn't know what it's
I was
actually
just thinking
saying,
that myself,
T.
actually.
There was
about
an L, that was
blindfolding.
an L.
Yeah. G. H.
Laugh.
Oh God. Okay.
Are you laughing at Darren? Yes.
Hello.
If Darren asks some questions, will you answer them?
Yeah.
So what you can try and do is ask a question none of us know the answer to.
So what kind of question would you be looking for?
That's
A
up to you.
question about me? Would they know about me? Or
Oh,
You can ask him.
I don't know. But well, first and foremost, if I'm going to partake in this in any way, are you a kind spirit?
is that the truth? You have to tell the truth. Yeah.
Are you Richard? You have to be Richard.
See, we can feel this moving, but my finger's slipping about underneath
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
mine as well.
So, Richard, are you aware of the other spirits in this building?
No.
Do you know Darren? Are you related to him? Recently. Are you recently related to him? So you've been dead quite a long time.
Oh gosh, we're doing the numbers. 7.
2.
Have you been dead for 72 years? Okay.
I know of no Richards myself. Are Richard, are you a Judson or not?
Well, just one question. Are you a
Just one
Judson?
question. Are you a Judson? No. Are you a Brahman? I know of no other
Yeah.
no family line.
We've got the last name though.
Richard, what were it?
Mallet.
Mallet.
You can do some research on that, can't you? And it might not be a family member, it might be somebody close.
Yeah.
Like a great granddad's cousin.
Yeah.
It's not like a Smith though, is it? That's going to show up somewhere.
Mum.
On Darren's mum's side of the family.
Do you call your mum, Mum?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Just call her mum.
My dad and his generation all call their mums Mam.
I
Yeah.
call mine Mum.
Yeah. Okay. So on Darren's mum's side of the family, we're thinking. Okay, thank you.
Are you on my mum's maternal side of the family? So are you related through my mother's mother, my grandmother?
Yeah.
That's possibly why I don't recognise the name, because
Yeah, maiden names.
she married into the Brahmans.
Yeah.
Are you from the Keighley area? That helps.
From Yorkshire. From England. Scotland.
Are you French? Because Mallet has only got one L in it when it spell it out, so it'd be Mallet, wouldn't it?
Okay, are you, yeah. Did you die in England? Were you living in England? But you are a French man. Okay. How old were you when you died? 7. Oh, 7?
7, I thought you said 72.
No, that's how long
Has
it's
he
been
been
dead.
dead?
That's how, okay.
So this you might not have even.
So are you a
Yeah, so
child?
he died in...
Okay, thank you.
Are you a bit work that out backwards up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it easy to research it.
So 72 years ago was in the 50s.
Yeah,
Was
Mum's
it?
in my strong point.
71 years.
71
71 years he died and he was 7 years old.
So did you know my grandfather?
Gone sticky underneath. He's still there, Richard? That's my story.
Swans off, honey.
Thank you, Richard.
Any other spirits here that like to talk to us?
I don't like it. So.
It makes me feel sick.
So, right, we've just done the Ouija board, or I say we've just done, I watched from afar. We're now going to try a spirit box.
Yeah.
A spirit box, and what's going to happen is we're going to ask some questions over here. Andy's going to be sat at the far side of the room. He's going to have headphones on, can't hear what we're saying, and he's going to shout out any responses that he hears as and when he hears them. I don't know who's going to ask the questions.
We can all find it. Tell it.
Freezing.
Are you cold now, or did you die in the cold?
Darren, we're a man singing.
Does somebody want to speak to Darren?
Is it me you wish to speak to? Is it someone else you wish to speak to?
Alive, female.
Who is it you're trying to speak to? Is the person you're trying to speak to here?
Sounded like babies, female.
Okay.
Hey.
Babies. Female.
Do you have babies?
Female down here.
What's your name? Are you angry with a man? Or do you miss a man? Are you angry with a woman from your past? Can you tell us your name?
It's just getting really cold down here. Female, Adam.
Do you miss Adam or are you angry with Adam? Would you like us to go away? Would you like the female to go away?
Baby, female.
So we're getting quite a lot of words here, guys, that are just quite random words. All seem to be relating to female with babies, possibly quite angry. There seems to be a lot of resentment towards a male, but the words that are coming out are quite random, so we're having to sort of string the story together and try asking the relevant questions.
Late female. Do you want the females that are down here to go away? Are you alright?
Someone stood behind me then. I thought one of you was stood here.
Yeah.
So if you didn't quite catch that,
I'm real, female.
Andy, who is currently
Who is
speaking,
it, male?
believed there was someone stood directly behind him, and that caused him to jump, thinking we were one of us was there.
Yeah, exactly, boo. The word is just...
Got them, male.
Who have you got?
Got them, female.
Got the babies? The male and the female babies?
One, male.
You got one baby?
Two, male. Again.
Two babies again? I don't know what I'm saying. Talking to a room.
Get used to it.
Ask me, male.
What's your name? Do you know your name?
Ten, male.
Is 10 your age?
Power up, female.
Power up's
It's
quite,
pretty freezing down here, you know.
power up's quite a recent term. Did you die recently?
Something about an egg, female.
Did you die of salmonella?
Shouldn't laugh. Get it back tenfold.
Right? Going on.
Are you alright?
I'm just asking questions. You mentioned eggs, so I just checked if they died of salmonella.
Oh,
It's the only connection to an egg I could think of.
it's bloody freezing down here. Shall we go upstairs?
You're wearing a
Yeah.
t-shirt.
Right, so we're going to move from the cellar up to the next floor. So we'll see you up there.
I've got your device here.
Wow.
weird though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless Esther just spilled some water or something.
I don't know, I felt like the flower had just gone from us, didn't it?
That top step's well away.
Can you turn the light on?
Can you make the meter in front of the camera go off? Can you touch this device on the table? Can you touch this device on the table? Just reach out to it. Just touch it, it won't harm you. Just lets us know that you're here. If there is anyone here, can you touch this device in front of me? Just reach out to it, change its colour, it won't hurt you. There's nothing to be scared of. No, nothing seems to currently be happening. There seems to be a lot less activity up here than we were experiencing downstairs. But the chairs are infinitely more comfortable. Can you touch it again? We did ask earlier, you just seem to have touched it now. Can you do it again on camera?
Just touch there, right there. That's moving the night. You can see it going up that dial.
Yeah.
That's not me, because grasp it with both hands.
Touch it as hard as you can.
It is moving.
Moving, it's wobbling. No.
Are you still there?
When she doesn't, when I do private ones for half time, she makes coffee and gets me.
Can you move this dial?
So I said, bring your own stuff.
Can you touch this light again?
You touch that light again. Brilliant. Can you make it go for a little bit longer? Have it again. Nothing to be scared of. It's not that shit.
Right guys, we're almost out of power on the other camera, so I've had to switch to the phone camera here. We are upstairs in the studio now after doing downstairs first. Lots of things happened down there. Some of them centred around myself. You will see from the footage that someone named Richard Mallet, claiming to be a relative of mine, seemingly contacted us. We've met up during the break. We've not discussed anything with the other group, and now we've moved upstairs. So let's see what happens up here. I am not putting my hand on it, but we are doing our second round on the Ouija board, this time upstairs, so we'll see what we get from this. We've tried on a couple of occasions. The first time we got some quite legitimate information, the second time not so much, but let's see what this time brings.
A.
Okay.
H. I.
Ezekiel.
Oh wow.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, that's just an old-fashioned name.
Ezekiel, that's a pretty name. That's nice.
Are you an adult?
How old are you?
How old were you?
That's right. 5. 58. What year did you die? $18. 79.
Did you have a good life?
We've got a lot of old people this time. You know? Sometimes we get people. We got one last time that had only been dead 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that work?
When you're dead, aren't you? Doing stuff, you're a spirit, you're a
Well,
spirit.
then you'll learn all the language and everything.
Well, I don't know.
Do you enjoy being around here, Ezekiel?
I hear a lot. I hear permanently. So you can choose where you want to go and when you want to go. That sounds alright.
Leave bloody Keighley, won't you?
I'll have to start putting some up in my bedroom. Is there any places you're forbidden from going?
Can you spell that place out for us where you're not allowed to go? E. What's that?
E. You're trying to spell bedroom.
Bedroom.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we understand. Thank you. So you're not allowed to spy on people in the bedroom? Are you allowed to go in other people's bedrooms, just not your family members?
Do you just not like going in bedrooms? Okay. You're a private person. That's very kind of you, very
1800s,
thoughtful.
they were very prim and proper.
You respect other people,
Yeah, well done. That's really nice.
so you wouldn't follow anyone without permission. It's very respectful.
Please be aware you do not have our permission to follow us from this room.
Yeah.
From this building. You can follow us from this room, but not from this building. When we leave, you stay here. Do you understand that? Thank you.
Thank you.
Got to say, this building's more interesting than any of our houses anyway, so... Oh, yeah.
It's not. Do you like it when we come to visit? Would you like us to come back? But you promise not to follow us. Thank you. So guys, what we've just done is we've just lit a couple of candles out of the drafts. Both of them contain yes or no. And the idea is what we're going to do is ask questions, and if any of these flicker, that would be the answer that we're given. So you can't see from here, guys, but what we'll do is we'll let you know if any of them do flicker.
Is there any spirits in this room that can hear my voice and you'd like to communicate with us? Can you make the yes candle flicker, please? The one with yes written on. It's the one on the left hand side as I'm looking at it. So if you can hear my voice, touch the flame on the yes candle.
So just checking as the voice of the people asking questions. Now candles will flicker.
Yeah.
Is there a time limit on the answer? Because you could ask it a question, wait 5 minutes, and statistic wise, at some point it's going to flicker.
Probably until we get bored, which is like after about 10 seconds of waiting in there. That's.
So you're looking for a pretty immediate answer.
Yeah, quite quick.
And a combination of yes and no's that make sense.
Yeah.
So, just before we move into silence, because you're probably the most experienced of this, I would expect, being not knowledgeable on the fact that a lot of spirits connect themselves to places because of what happened. So if they were murdered there, if they lived there, whereas tonight we seem to have quite a wide-ranging array of spirits from all over. How does that work? I mean, it sounds really... No, I suppose no one actually knows, but do spirits seemingly know when someone's trying to contact, so it could be random spirits from anywhere?
Don't know, we do seem... Sometimes you go to a place and it is just spirits from that place.
Yeah.
And other times, like tonight, it's like they're out for a walk and they just come past. Oh, we can talk to these.
They just
And then
feel
we can
that
go
someone
there.
is trying to connect with them, so
Yeah.
they will go there.
I think we've only had a couple local tonight, and the rest have been from other places.
Yeah,
And sometimes you come here and they're all from Keighley.
yeah,
But I've noticed that most of them have been children as well.
yeah,
There's only been a couple of adults, and the rest have been kids.
yeah.
It's different every time, and until I die, I won't know the answers.
No. Well, if you do, make sure you come back and let us know in a friendly way.
Haunt your channel for you.
This the building did used to be a spiritual church. So I guess
You're not supposed to tell us this information till the
Well,
end.
I'm not telling you this because it's the reason why we have, but it did used to be a spiritual church, so a lot of spirit will have come and gone.
Yeah.
Because they'll have been welcomed before. So if they've been welcomed before, it might well be a plane that they can come to again.
Yeah,
A place where they all
I
know.
guess. Yeah.
I think some people as well just take spirits with them.
yeah,
And wherever they go on an investigation, something happens, and then other people don't get anything ever.
I mean, I suppose I've never been one to believe wholly in, the afterlife and communicating with the dead, but I've always believed that there is something to it.
Yeah.
There's so much of this world that we don't understand, and I've always potentially thought that somehow the spirits leave behind energy, and you're almost seeing that energy that was in the past, like a photograph.
Yeah.
So the reason that a spirit can move through a door is because the image that you're seeing from their energy is almost a memory of when that door wasn't there. That's why someone's walking through that area.
Sometimes you get that, but other times you will get intelligent responses to your questions.
Yeah,
Which isn't an old photograph, it's something responding. You can ask a question, and sometimes you'll get a knock for an answer. Can you knock once for no, twice for yes, and answer questions.
yeah,
And it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's amazing because it's literally an intelligent response to your questions.
yeah,
And a memory of a thing wouldn't do that.
no,
Like some people see the same spirit, don't they? They all report a white lady walking down the corridor. That could be a memory of
yeah.
an energy memory, I suppose.
Like I suppose locally we've got the Grey Lady down at East Riddleston Hall. I don't know much of the story, but I don't recall any sort of talk of interactions with the Grey Lady, just more of people see her.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's an imprint left on time, really.
Yeah.
That energy's been left over there, and
And
when
if you
people...
tried to talk to it, you wouldn't get a response. It probably just walks straight through you.
Yeah, because you're almost seeing a pocket of energy from the past.
And then other times you'd literally get a response. Like sometimes those candles will answer questions.
Yeah.
Flicker yes and flicker no. We've had, last time I came in here, one of the other devices, the spirit was, would you grab hold of it if the answer's yes and then step away if it's no? We spent 40 minutes talking to it,
Yeah,
answering questions in the intelligent responses. And then when we said goodbye, it stopped. It stopped going off. So.
yeah. And I'll turn the light off and see what we get.
That's 5 minutes of silence.
I am overly aware I am closest to the door. So we're just going to go back downstairs to collect the Ouija board now. Just, this is worth... Have you guys been back down? Yeah. You have been back down?
Yeah. Have you touched
Right.
the Ouija board?
So, obviously we can't 100% confirm this, because here as the voice of reason we have had people go downstairs since us, but they swear they've not touched it. The Ouija board was left positioned at number 1. We're just off down to collect it now.
Yeah. Just forgot that tail away.
And it is still on number 1, so thankfully, and I mean I do have skin crawling down the back of my neck right now, guys, but that probably because it's creepy as hell down here even when you're not looking for spirits. So like a real man, I'm going to run upstairs before the two ladies.
Leave me in the back, thanks.
Well, as a man, there seemed to be a lot of aggression towards men on that Ouija board, so figured I'd be the first person out there. So we've just been upstairs. First we tried out the candles, the yes/no candles, to see if they flicker, and we had nothing. And then we sat in silence for a little bit, tried getting some answers through knocking, noises, crashes, but again, very, very quiet. Now, the other group did say there was a lot of activity up here. However, we've not particularly experienced anything up here other than the activity on the Ouija board. So we've come down to the middle section, the second floor, just to see if there's anything different in here.
Yeah.
So now we're on the second floor, or the middle floor. We are going to try the candles again. So you get a better view here with this camera. We've got yes and no candles, and the idea is to see if they flicker with no one even remotely close to them. The flickering should usually leave a shadow, though. I mean,
we'll see the flicker.
we can test.
Just,
Yeah, so we should be able to
there's a big
see.
flame there. Must be a draft there.
Somebody's on the stairs.
On the stairs.
Come in, you're coming in. Open the door, come in.
Is that them downstairs in the cafe that's gone down to sit down?
It sounded like a chair being dragged on the floor downstairs to me.
Sounds like it, Alex.
Have you got the walkie-talkie to ask them if they're down in the cafe?
I was just checking it with the same place first.
Can you come up from downstairs and talk to us?
Right, guys, so we have just finished at the Spirit of Welbeing Lounge. You followed group 1 round, and Lucy was in group 2. You witnessed everything that I witnessed. It was interesting to see. You did see the young lady Sarah, I believe, who was quite overcome with emotion when we were talking to someone that we believed didn't know they had died. I personally seem to be the centre of a lot of activity. There was a Richard Tallow, died around 72 years ago, that claimed they were a relative of mine on my maternal side. There was also a spirit called Ezekiel that seemed to think I was quite funny and wanted to communicate with me. None of the light balls went off. We saw no lights ourselves. We didn't see or hear any knocks. Not anything that couldn't be explained by someone moving a chair downstairs. It was all very subjective things, so nothing that would change my opinion. But there were people in the other group who did have experiences that they fully believed in. Our colleague Lisa spoke with someone who was a relative or knew a relative. It was very emotional for her. She fully believes that she did experience something, and I don't invalidate that. I'm not one to say either way what is right or wrong. Just in my experience, we didn't see enough in my group. You had quite a lot in your group. You believed you heard was it a whisper?
I'm not 100% sure if it was a whisper, but there was certainly more activity in my group. You could hear scraping of chairs upstairs, and you said your group heard scraping of chairs and thought it was our group, but we were down in the basement.
Yeah.
So that's unexplained, the scraping of the chairs. There was quite a few bangs, quite a little bit of knocking. Some activity picked up on CCTV, so some lights. And yeah, a couple of experiences on the Ouija board, which I didn't do myself. And I just sat and stared at it because that's something I'm not sure about.
She's not the only one, as you'll know from the footage. I never touched the Ouija board myself. Now, I did interact in as far as asking some of the questions because it seemed to react to me. We had conversations in there and explained both sides of it, so I don't believe anyone was trying to pull the wool over his eyes. I do think the hauntings and the spiritual side of things is a very, very subjective experience, and you take out of it and you believe what you want to believe. I don't think my stance on it has changed that much. Do you believe any more or less? Or still
the
would
same.
Need proof?
Yeah, I think I would still need proof. Yeah.
Well, that's it. We should try and come again, and maybe one time we will get any more information. Again, very intriguing stories. You heard about Elizabeth, the 12-year-old girl who was... No, she was 17-year-old girl who was murdered by Jonathan because she was having an affair with her husband. It seems... It's very strange. I can't explain it. I'm sure no one can really explain it. But it is a very intriguing subject. But be sure tonight I will be sleeping with the light on just in case. But I think that's it. We should come again, see what happens next time. If you like the content and if you believe in hauntings, give us a comment down below and let us know what your thoughts are on some of the things that happened. For now, if you just hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. We'll be continuing with things like this and other events for both families and for couples. And we'll see you on the next one. Good night.